Everybody, welcome back to R-TAC and Daughters. Today, we're going to talk about World War II German rifles. This time, a very rare rifle. Not really super rare, but it's rare in the U.S. This is the G43. Hitler's, or the Wehrmacht's answers to the M1 Garand and the Soviets' SVT-40. The precursor to this was the Gewehr 41 made by Mauser. This one right here is the Gewehr 43 or the G44. Some people, well, not the 44, the 43. This one, and they also made the K43. So you may have one that may say K or G. This is a G43. The K would be for carbine. This one does have a threaded muzzle cap on it. It is set up for reenacting. So we're going to go over some things about the G43. We're getting into World War II rifles before, a little bit earlier than what I wanted to. The reason why is that this one right here, after today, will no longer be in my collection. It has been traded for an M14 and a 1919.
Which you will probably see in later videos?
So, yeah, probably. Anyway. So this one's leaving, and it's a sad day because it's like departing with one of your kids. This was probably the most rare and most expensive gun I've ever owned in my whole collection, because we all know these things go anywhere if they're in really bad shape from like $2,000 back up to $4,500 depending on accessories they have with them. So we're going to talk about this one. These guns, if you look into right here, they are a machine, not finely machined. They're in the rough. The right here on this side here, you'll see the other side. It's right here. Some of the dates up this way. Right there, you'll see that say 44. This one was made in 44. This is made by Walther. You all know who Walther is. They make the Walther Q5 match, the PK380, the PPK. The James Bond guns, the PPK one. So they make a lot of fine rifles post-war, and handguns post-war. And during the war, they made the P1 or the P38, and they did get into these right here, and they started making these. It has a 10-round detachable box magazine. So they do load from 5-round Mauser stripper clips. They do fire 8mm Mauser. These were great rifles. The problem was they didn't get enough of them. It wouldn't have changed the tide of the war. Maybe if they would have started the war with this rifle, maybe it would have helped them out a lot better. But they just didn't get enough of these. So before we dive into the gun here, I want to dive into the magazines first because this is a Norwegian copy magazine here. As you can tell, it's brand new, almost. I didn't really have to do a whole lot to make it fit. I just had to knock some of the paint off on the front and the rear to get it to lock in. So it rocks in kind of like an AK. The release button's right here. Push up on it, pull out the bottom, and it releases. So that's how you put it in.
Show that again.
So release button up, pull it out like that. So these magazines, this one right here I got from Sarco. They run about $50 for these replacement Norwegian-made magazines. Supposedly Norway had a whole bunch of these things, and they used them all the way up to the 80s. So anyway, now when you get into the World War II magazines, or the original magazines, they are not matching numbers or anything like that. So here's a date of a matching mag, or a real World War II mag. You see it?
Almost. It's like barely there to focus. But it's 648.
Okay. So it's 648. It's got the Wehrmacht Eagle stepped on it. It says G43. That's the serial number on it, 648. Again, it's a factory mag. This one comes with 2 mags. This one right here is it says G43, and it's got 313 on it or something like that.
Here, let me see.
BFY. Because there's also a manufacturing mark on there somewhere. So original magazines. if you get them, if you look on Fleabay, oh my God, they go anywhere from $275 all the way up. I think I've seen one at $450. Well, this gun's got 2 original magazines. So that's what's cool. So, and here's the G43 ammo pouches. They came in green canvas, blue, leather, brown and black. Blue would have been for Luftwaffe. Tan. So that's a lot on it. A lot of these had the ZFK or ZF scope mount on it. A lot better scope for a sniper system versus those little ZF41s that they had on the Mausers all the way up there with the long eye relief. So these were definitely a big major improvement. They also come off. This one's a little hard. The mount here is an original mount, but this is a aftermarket repo scope from Sarco. This gun is all matching numbers except for the scope, of course. And you'll find them that way. The stocks will usually match the rifles. And then, of course, this one's missing the safety. I had to get a new safety. The old spanner clip that held the safety in broke on it. So I got the new, that's why it doesn't have a safety right here. And it's got, of course, the butt pouch here. This is an original K98 G43 sling, rifle sling. So it's been on here since day one. Is this a GI bring back? I think so. Or because they imported these in the 90s too, and they were a lot cheaper then. So they're in the rough and they look bad and they got a bad rep because of junk ammo, and they don't like to run. I hadn't found that the case on this one right here. I got what they call the shooter kit. What that is this is a gas system. If it will come off really easy, we'll do this. Yeah, there you go. So that's the original Bakelite plastic handguard from the Wehrmacht. All right, so we'll lay that to the side here, and there's your operating system right here. So we'll look right here. Gas piston right here. There's your gas piston right there. There's part of it there. That's how you take it down. If you want to take it apart, you go like this. You take that rod out there and all that happy stuff. Well, I'm not going to do it because I got the bolt in it still. So, this is your gas system. And this has been replaced. It's got the shooter's kit in it. And what that does is allow you to adjust the pressure of the gas system. And the reason why you want to do that is during World War II is that they had it full blown. You got full gas to the operating system. And eventually, and this is a lot of stamped metal, and it's crudely stamped out and it's crudely finished. But it doesn't mean it's not a good rifle, and it doesn't mean that this rifle is not durable. The problem is that during World War II, you got different pressures, especially this late in the war, 1944, 1945. You got slave laborers making ammo. They're sabotaging the ammo, so you'll get sub-power ammo. And the Germans wanted these things to run. So, basically, eventually, they would beat the back of these things out. Now, right here, that's what the back looks like with the safety out. And then they'll beat this out. So, when you take this top cover off, it'll be bent out and on the metal receiver. And then you got a junk gun. Well, not necessarily. There's a couple people that are out there that makes them, or that will repair them so they'll work again. And he does a good job. I think it's John Allison, I think his name. Anyway, so that's why they didn't have a regulated gas system. So when you get the shooter's kit, which is probably, I think they're around $125, you definitely want one if you got one of these that doesn't have it in it. This one has an adjustable gas system in it. So, for two reasons. One, it extends the life of the rifle. You can shoot it more without damaging the back of the receiver or the bolt carrier group. Also, it allows you to fine-tune it to whatever ammo. So if you're downloading 8mm Mauser to shooting this, you can do that. If you want to shoot the high-powered ones, hunting rounds in it, you can do that. If you just want to shoot blanks, you can do that as well. This gun here has a muzzle cap at the end of it, and it's able to be blank adapted. Does it got the blank adapter in there?
I think.
Yeah, it's got so. It does have a threaded barrel. You can find these without the threaded barrel, and that right there has got the blank adapter in it, because this was set up to fire 8mm blanks.
For reenacting purposes.
For reenacting purposes, as many of you know, I reenact. So you can take the little washer out there, put the muzzle cap back on, and shoot full powered ammo out of it. The shooter kit allows you to do that safely and without blowing your rifle up, especially when you're paying anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 for this thing. It will allow you to do that. This has original stock. I know they're making aftermarket stocks. They make aftermarket magazines, aftermarket scopes. Realistically, it was a very good rifle. Once they had the ammo issue, they had decent ammo coming to them. It was a good rifle. There were some problems with it, like all rifles do. But this one right here, I've shot
many times.
500 blank rounds through it in battles, no problem feeding or cycling. I've shot roughly about 500 live rounds out of it too, with the gas system. I've never shot it without the gas system. Also, you'll notice that a lot of the serial numbers will be electro-penciled in here. It's not on this one. This one's stamped. A lot of them will be electro-penciled, especially on the gas system. When you take the original gas system out, don't worry. That's the way they did it. They stamped it. You know, Germans like to stamp everything to save time. The parts were around it. They just went ahead and electro-penciled the serial numbers into those parts. I do have the factory gas system for it. But if you're going to shoot these things, you need to put the shooter's kit in it. You need to get extra parts for them, springs and all that. Not a lot of them are floating out there, are floating around, extra parts. So when you get them because if you break something, they're usually expensive to fix. Knock on wood, I've never broke anything on this gun other than that clip that holds the safety in, and I got a new one. And I even got a new safety just for the hell of it and a spring for it to put it in there. I've had this gun for about 3 years. No, 5 years. Had it for 5 years. Had a lot of fun out of it. I hate to see it go, but you know, I'm getting a semi-automatic belt-fed 1919 and an M14. So kind of hard to say no to that for fun-wise, you know. I guess life is best with a belt-fed machine gun, as they say. So I'll get to experience that. And it's going to another guy in our unit, or in our reenacting group, so it's not like I'm not going to get to see it no more. You know, or who knows, it might even come back. I might get something that he wants, and we'll trade, and we'll swap back. Who knows? It's just one of those things. But at least it's going to a good home, to somebody who's going to love it as much as I do. It's been a good gun for me over the years that I've used it and shot it. It's only increased in value since I bought it. You know, like I said, they go anywhere now from $2,500 to $4,500 depending on all the accessories on it. I don't have but a third of that into it, so I'm not losing. I'm coming out on the good end on it, and it's not a bad rifle. I think a lot of these served on the Eastern Front more than on the Western Front. That's why we don't see as many of them here in the U.S. They were good rifles. There's no doubt about it. They just need to be fine-tuned a little bit better. If these came out early war, they would have finished. The receivers would be finished. They wouldn't be in the rough. They would probably have adjustable gas system in the beginning of it. There's a lot of things that could have been better on this rifle, but late war, I think they only produced 500,000 of these, so that's not a lot. And then you got to figure that majority of them were on the Eastern Front. So, and then the Soviets destroyed these when they found them. Especially if they had a scope on them. You had German units, German soldiers destroying them, or chunking the scopes off of them because the Soviets would execute snipers on the spot. And not saying that the Allies didn't do it, but the Soviets definitely did it. On the Eastern Front, there was no quarter given. There were no honor and no honor whatsoever. They killed each other because it was kill or be killed out there. Not like it was on with the Allies on the Eastern Front, where you had some type of civil rules to the war, where you didn't have as much as that in the Eastern Front, on the Eastern Front, because of the harsh conditions and the harshness of the men that fought. Again, Walther made these. Somebody else did too. I can't remember who else made them. Good rifles. So again, we got us a Patreon page now. If you like to support the channel with ammo, and that's where the money would go. It's like a $1, $5, and $1, $2, and $5 increments, or $1, $2, and $10, or something like that. There are increments on there. The link is on our main page, not in the video down below. I might put those in with a comment later on if somebody asks for it. If you support us, we plan on doing every 100th Patreon member that we get, we do a drawing. We got some good giveaway stuff, like some SIG P320 handgun frames in different colors. We got some Glock parts to give away. So we got some things to give away. We're going to do more politically. We've been very vocal politically in these last 3 months. Support the GOA, Second Amendment Foundation, and the Firearm Policy Coalition. They don't support our channel, but they do good work, and they're on our side, unlike the NRA, who just negotiates our rights away. So, they're not in the limelight now until they get all new, until the NRA board is new and under complete new leadership from top to the bottom. The NRA is useless to me. The GOA is where it's at. That's where I'd go in Firearms Coalition, Second Amendment Foundation. Those people care about our rights, and they'll fight for our rights. They're not there to line their own pockets. So we got that. We got our Facebook page. Please like it and share it over on Facebook. Please like and share our Instagram page. Please hit our YouTube channel. Like and share our videos on that. If you want to donate to the channel for ammo cost and see more shooting and ammo testing, which I like to do on a smaller scale, not like thousands of rounds through all the guns, but at least a couple hundred. Just double check malfunction. If not, it's going to take me years to shoot 1,000 rounds through all the weapons that I have. So that'll never happen anytime soon. Plus the cost. We're getting out there. We're trying to get younger people into liking the firearms, the shooting sports, self-defense, understand what the Second Amendment really is about, what our rights are as Americans, and how our Constitution works. That's the most important document to us. It's the Constitution and our Bill of Rights. Anything else written before is useless. Anything written after that is useless. The history of the world really started in 1776 with the formation of this country. Everything before that was just laughable. That's a Ron Swanson quote, if you know who that is, from Parks and Recreations. So get over there, like and share our videos, like and share our pages. If you have a G43, let me know. If you got rid of one, let me know too. And is it the worst decision you ever made in your life? Will I regret trading this away? Maybe. I hope not. So we'll catch you guys next time. We'll probably end up getting into our AR series, which if you see the video after this one will be the first one. Why Colt is no longer making long rifles for civilian purposes. And we'll see you guys next time.